95 Country. That is Kane Brown and his wife Caitlin with Thank God. So today is Tuesday, which means it's time to recap with Molly, and we have a lot to talk about. So we're just going to get right into it.
So much.
I know. There's a lot.
It's the end.
It is the end. That has to feel a little bittersweet.
Yes, it does. I mean, it's been, I feel like it's been like a year of my life, from filming to, the episodes. So it's just kind of weird that it's all done. I'm kind of sad.
Yeah, and it kind of has been,
Yeah.
So, okay. We have to start off because you had to do a bake-off. Your spot in the championship was not secure. You had to bake a dozen donuts for a bridal shower.
Right.
You only had 60 minutes to do that. In the beginning of the episode, you had to choose who you were going to, bake for. You got the bride,
right,
and Luke got the groom. You chose to do an almond raspberry baked donut.
Yes.
And Luke decided to do a blueberry donut. At first, he was like, I'm going to do it fried. Some things you said were that you wanted to feel validation in this. You had survived 4 eliminations, won 3 challenges. All right, so talk us through your process of that.
Okay, so yes, I did. So a 60-minute challenge, I did a baked donut, which, I don't even like baked donuts. It's not a real donut. It tastes like a cake. I know that, which is what they said in the judging, of course. But I'm like, but what else can you do? Because, as you saw, Luke tried to do a fried donut and it didn't work out, and then he's scrambling. He still beat me, but he was still, I didn't want my process to be that rough. You know what I mean? I wanted to kind of, have a little bit more relaxed session. So I did a baked donut. I thought that it was the safest option, especially because if you were to just do a donut and not have to do all that extra decoration, I think it could have been done. But the fact that you had to glaze them all a certain way, put decor on them, really make them look like a bridal shower or like a groomsman shower, you really needed the extra decorating time, which you just didn't have if you fried them. So.
Yeah. And so you did the baked and you decorated yours. Your thing was for a bridal dress.
Yes.
It turned out gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. My sheen, it really shined on the screen, didn't it?
It really did. No, it did. Luke's fried donut soaked up too much oil, so he had to switch to baking. You talked a little bit about, or was it Luke, about shaky hands with the piping.
Oh, that was me. Oh, yeah.
Because you were so nervous.
Oh, it was, and it just, you had to go so fast. You know what I mean? That's the thing, too, because I think Duff said in my judging that if it would have been in a little thinner piping, but my hands were so but also from the whole process of doing all these challenges, my hands were tired, they're cramping. I get cramps sometimes because I work with my hands so much. And so if I would have gone a smaller piping tip, it would have been even harder to pipe.
Yeah.
And so I did a bigger one, but it didn't look as dainty, which I get, but I'm just like, I was doing everything I could do just to get through in 60 minutes.
Well, and then which we will find out as we talk, that this seems to be a theme. Luke waited until the last minute. He was going
last minute Luke.
Last minute Luke to get his donuts done, right? So we get into the judges' comments. They said that yours was a pretty donut. They wish that you had a thinner line, which you had just said. The glaze cleaner and less thick. What did they mean? What did they want the glaze to be cleaner?
I guess because it wasn't perfect on the edges. But I
don't.
But I know that was my opinion too. But that was when they said that was my first thought. But I was like, okay. I guess. And then the reason why I should have said this in the judging, or I might have, and it got edited out. But I did a thick glaze because it was going to be white, and if you do a thin donut glaze that's white, it's going to look clear. And then it won't look like a dress.
Right.
So I had to put a thicker coat to give you a dress look.
Which makes sense.
I know, girl.
They said more cake than donut. Now, on Twitter, I just want to read a few of these. Someone said, so weird that these baked donuts taste like cake and not donuts.
Oh, yeah.
It's because baked donuts are cake. Someone said, baked donuts are just cake. Of course they are cakey. If you want a fried donut, give them more time.
Oh,
That's what I said.
Yeah.
What can you expect?
Yeah, at least an hour and a half, maybe 90 minutes or something. We could have, I think that would have been, because you had an hour to make your donut, fry it, and then 30 minutes to decorate. That would have been much better.
But it seemed like the thing that they were most about was your raspberries. So what happened?
I used dehydrated raspberries, and I just think that they just didn't, I think what happened was, the donut mold was too shallow. Mm-hmm. So as you saw, they didn't get all the way in. And so they stuck up a little bit, and I think that kind of made them toastier. Maybe if I would have gotten them deeper in, they would have hydrated more and been softer. I think that was too crunchy.
It looked good.
I looked pretty. Yeah.
let's compare yours to Luke's for a minute.
Oh no.
Luke's looked like a 2-year-old did it. Honestly, it was awful.
I know. But, but like I said, mine would have too if I would have fried and then baked. Because you only had so much time.
I know.
That's what happened. I think his would have looked a lot better had he have just played it safe.
Right.
And done it like me. But, I guess it didn't matter because, I'm telling, I'm giving him recommendations to play safe and he beat me. So, what do I know? But, he would have had more decorating time for sure had he just done it baked. But he wanted to take that risk. And, I hate that he didn't work out because if it would have worked out, he would have really smoked me.
Yeah.
I feel like it was pretty close. But if he would have made that fried donut, it would have been over for me right away.
Yeah. Well, I still think yours, and that's just not, they looked way better.
Well, thank you.
You left, but you left as gracious as you came in, which we wouldn't have expected anything else, I don't think. So we're going to move on to the preheat real quick.
Okay.
They had to do a surprise proposal dessert.
Mm-hmm.
Clement won, or no, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He did. So he got the raspberry tart ring box. He made a raspberry tart ring box out of tempered chocolate. Christian did an almond and orange cake ring in a blow sugar ball.
Oh, yeah.
And then Luke made a coconut cake with mango, basil jam, and a ring box cake. So what would you have done for this challenge?
Gosh, I should have come prepared for this question because I have no idea.
Oh, girl, I got this for the next one, too.
Oh, God. Well, the next one, I could have done that one easy because I thought about all three of those designs. But I know, because see, I'm so bad at that, thinking about the reveal of what to do. It would have probably been a box too, just like that,
like an actual box, or
Well, I would have probably done the whole dessert as a box, you know what I mean. I'd have probably done a tart or something that was in the shape of a square, and then built up the sides and to make a box. Probably maybe cookies or something. That'd be really cute.
Oh yeah.
And then filled it with stuff. But I don't know. But the finger thing, that blew me away. Oh, yeah. And I secretly love that because I'm that's kind of Halloweenish in a way. It's kind of creepy, but I liked it though.
So they talked a little bit. Clement had the most wins this
yes, he won 6.
Yeah,
6.
The judges said that his baked almond cream was delightful, perfect tart crust. Mm-hmm. Christian, they said that his cake was a tad dry. The flavor was there, and then they complimented his joy, which I loved that moment for him.
That was really sweet. Yeah. I love that too because it's so true.
Yeah,
because he's always just happy regardless.
Yeah, and for others to acknowledge that for him, I'm sure that had to have made him feel some sort of way.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think a lot of people have been messaging him since the episode to tell him that too. So that's really nice.
And then we get into Luke. Lack of decorations, messy. Mango puree, but it was delicious. Then they could also tell that he was distracted from the bake-off. So did you go straight from the bake-off then? Is that what that was?
Yeah, so they went straight into the preheat. I went to interview and they went to preheat. So
I guess I could see how that would be a little distracting.
That's what I'm thinking. If I had to do it too, I thought about that too. I was I would have been so stressed. I'd have been so tired, because it was early in the morning and you start off and you just go and then you have to go right again and come up with something amazing. And Luke and Christian, not Luke, Clement and Luke have just sat on the sidelines resting. Yeah. They didn't know what the challenge was, but they were just relaxed. So
well, Clement ended up winning, and as he should have. It was amazing. It looked really great. But we're going to get into the main heat challenge and then talk more about the ending of the show with you in just a bit. So stick around. You're listening to 95 Country.